I'm Will Beecham, ICE's Chemical Business Deputy Editor. I'm here with Paul Hodges, Chairman of International Echem. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Will.
So, Paul, you've written us a piece in our EPCA coverage this year, which is rather unusual. You've taken the perspective of a dateline of 2017, and you've looked back at changes that have happened, quite serious changes to the chemical industry in terms of quite widespread shutdowns and mistakes that have been made over the past few years. So I wondered whether you could just tell me or describe what you see as the big sort of demand side changes that we should be aware of at the moment to avoid a future catastrophe.
Yes, I mean, what I wanted to do in the article was to present an alternative. So instead of saying, here we are towards the end of 2014, it all looks pretty bad, operating rates have never recovered, we're at 80% or so on the crackers, oh my goodness, it's all doom and gloom, there's nothing we can do, etc. I wanted to look back from 2017 and say, well, actually, there was another way. And as you say, it's keyed into this demand opportunity, that there is a whole new source of demand out there, the people who are aged over 55. And these are very, very large numbers of people. So we're talking nearly 1 in 2 of the adult population in a number of European countries, at least 1 in 3 almost everywhere in the developed world. And so what is it that these people want? They don't want the same as when they were younger, settling down, having children, buying houses and so on. They haven't got as much money individually. They're retiring and so on. But there's an awful lot of them. And let's, instead of just closing everything down, let's say, can we repurpose it for this new wonderful opportunity?
Could you give us a few clues then about what kind of changes the industry needs to make structurally in order to be able to meet this future demand pattern?
I think it needs to do 2 things at once. One is it clearly needs to think about feedstocks and build on the work that's being done at the moment by companies like INEOS and SABIC and Borealis, and think about feedstock flexibility and think about it also in not just from the States, but things like Versalis are doing in terms of biorefineries. Can we get a smorgasbord of feedstocks now? Because I think we're moving into a world where feedstock prices and availability are going to become very volatile indeed. I think it'd be a very brave company to take a punt on anything over the next 10 or 20 years and be absolutely confident that will always be best. So that's one side of it, feedstock flexibility. Let's get a portfolio together. Secondly, let's change our manufacturing and our business outlook towards a concept of design to cost. Not design for added value anymore, because if you've got nearly half of your adult population coming up to retirement, I'm sorry, individually and collectively, they have not got enough money to go for that. But they do want the basic things. They want food, they want water, they want shelter, they want mobility, they want health. They've got very big needs, and why shouldn't we continue to supply them, but in a different way to the way we've been doing for the last 20 or 30 years?
So you're talking about things like producing more basic grades of polymers and things like that to meet a more basic and cost-based demand.
Yes, exactly. I think that there's 2 arguments for doing this. One is you simply can't sell the more expensive grades unless you're looking at the luxury market, and the luxury market is very small. There has been this concept, out of which we have all made a lot of money, of affordable luxury. But affordable luxury is disappearing today as a market. That middle ground that we all aimed at has more or less disappeared. So let's just take an example. If you take Renault, for example, in the car market, what are they doing now? They are bringing out cars which sell for €6,000 or €7,000, sort of say $8,000 or $9,000, and they're selling those all around the world very successfully, because they meet the basic needs not only of the older generation but also of the younger generation. How many young people starting off in life with a decent job and so on can afford a $20,000 or $30,000 car? Not many these days. So if you look at what Renault are doing, and of course Nissan are doing it, Renault's sort of co-owner and partner, they're producing $3,000 and $4,000 cars. There's a large number of them. So if you get that technology right, and it is a mindset issue though. We've been in a mindset where we add value, we make it more expensive, we make it more complex. So it's very, very, very difficult to say, today the challenge is to make it as simple and as cheap as possible and still make money.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you, Will.